fire. Come on. Hey. Yeah. Greetings, y'all. What's goody in your mother freaking hoodie? I am in such a good mood. Like, what? This is crazy. Because I definitely, like, I don't know. It's not that, like, okay, I've been very groggy and like, I don't know. It don't matter. It's a new moon today, Boogie. It's a new moon today. New moon in Virgo, baby. Oh, yeah. It is a new moon, and I do feel this new energy. And it's so crazy because it kind of just like whoosh. It just whooshed in. I don't know what happened. Anyway, how y'all doing? Galactic Gang. How have y'all week been? How you feeling? You know, that's what I want to know. Because over here around yonder, the vibes are immaculate. And the crazy thing is, I don't know if y'all know this about me, but like I'm a day to day individual. Like I live my life from day to day, moment to moment, right? Like I do set plans in motion and things of that nature. But I also allow life to just life. And because I am divinely guided, so I do trust whatever steps I am inspired to take is for my highest and greatest good. And so it's just so interesting because a few things have happened in the past week to where I kind of, I don't want to say I had to change my plans, but I just kind of had to just go with the flow. And it's been so lovely though, because I did have one moment, just a wee little moment where I was like, now what is this shit? But y'all, the universe never ceases to amaze me. And so, I mean, when I say opportunities, and when I say opportunities, I'm talking about career opportunities. I'm not talking about no job. I'm talking about alignment with the things that I have been setting intentions for years. And so it's just such a beautiful thing because I mean, I'm about to grab my deck too. And no, I'm not pulling cards for y'all. I'm pulling cards because I was told to pull cards on the particular situation. And just before I started streaming, I heard these sirens. Now, it's well after midnight, so there's no reason why I should be hearing sirens. You know what I'm saying? It's a new day. Hello. It's Friday. And I don't want to say that there's no reason I should be hearing sirens. Like, I mean, emergencies happen, right? But the sirens feel symbolical to a particular situation, and I just feel like spirit is trying to draw my attention to the situation for whatever reason. Mama Satchel, we're gonna have to turn you down a bit, Boogie, because it's starting to drown out my thoughts a little bit. But yeah, so I'm about to grab the cards and just like shuffle them up, so you'll be hearing me doing that because I'm just gonna get ready to receive whatever messages. But also, I wanted to say this, with this new moon in Virgo. Virgo, first of all, Virgo is connected to the tummy, right? Your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is where you store your emotions, right? You also store them in your sacral. Let's be clear. That's why when I'm teaching yoga, I remind people to focus on their hips, okay? Because this is where we keep those emotions, in our hips. And if you like me, in the shoulders and the back too. Oh, goodness, my whole neck, the back of my neck, all the way, across both my shoulders and then down my spine. It's like, it be pain, honey. It be pain. But um, I had this epiphany about a few things actually, and it's spiritual stuff, right? And it's so crazy how you like when you go on a healing journey, and I'm not talking about because there are so many different names that people throw out there. And let me be clear, a healing journey and a spiritual journey are two different things. You do receive some of the same results, on both paths. But, a healing journey is specifically you are focused on healing, right? And a spiritual journey is enlightenment based. You're looking for information, right? And so, excuse me, as someone who has been on both, I gotta say, come on, indigestion. Heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Well, I don't have any of those things. I'm just playing. Hold on, hold on. Yes, yes. Okay. I do not know what got me so goofy. I think it's my grandma. Yeah, because my ears started itching. And ooh, this is how I know I'm right. Because I remember earlier yesterday, like in the morning time, I was sitting down doing my writing, and out of nowhere, my right ear, usually it's my left ear, because motherfuckers just love to bring my name up. Just talking, just diarrhea of the mouth, head ass motherfuckers. But this happened in my right ear. This how I knew it was something from the spirit. I was like, my name is being brought up in the heavens. Okay, what y'all saying about me? I want to know what y'all talking about. But this is how I know though, like the revelations that I've been getting, the epiphanies, whatever, they're all just aligned. So boom, let me backtrack because I know my ADHD be getting carried away sometimes. My healing journey has shown me some things that I didn't recognize before. One of those things is I grew up too fucking fast. Not that I was a fast kid. No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. There was nothing fast or promiscuous about me, actually, even though men were constantly being indecent. Okay. No, I wasn't even interested in none of that stuff. When my peers was out there being fast and stuff and wearing little mini skirts and stuff, I wasn't doing that. Okay. I was a little conservative. Okay. That's how I was raised. My mom was never gonna allow no shit like that. But I grew up fast because I realized that I had to be the responsible adult. Even though I'm not the oldest, I'm the first daughter, the firstborn daughter, but the second child. Um, and being that my brother left home as a young teenager, it was left up to me to pretty much, take on the role of being the responsible adult. And I didn't think about that at the time, like, oh, I'm being the responsible adult. This is hard. I just thought, like, I want to be there for my siblings. I treated my siblings like they were my own children. And the thing is this is kind of where that whole bond attachment came from when I left home, but I asked, to get my siblings, to be able to get custody of my siblings, because I felt like I was responsible for them. And that was only because, like, I did not want them to experience the things that I had already experienced and that they had already started to experience, but they were younger than me. And so this realization has just had me kind of in this mindset. Well, just not even in a mindset, like I've been just, observing and analyzing aspects of my journey and recognizing how I didn't realize that I really didn't have a chance to enjoy being a kid. And it's crazy because it's crazy because, like, I want to be like, oh, well, that makes so much sense. But then it don't make sense because I'm not intentionally like trying to be a kid. I'm not, there's nothing about me. Matter of fact, listen, I've been trying to be grown my whole life, to be honest, low key, now that I think about it. like, like I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I can't wait to be an adult. Sick of this shit. But like that's because I wanted to be free. Okay, I did not want to be under the guidance of my mother, and under the control, should I say, because that's really what it was. And I hated that feeling of being trapped, that feeling of feeling like, damn, I can't even do what I want or think what I want, because no matter what I do, or when I'm speaking my mind or whatever, it's like I'm constantly being criticized or persecuted for who I am. And so I just remember constantly feeling like I was suffering, like internally, and I would lay in bed sometimes and just be like frustrated and cry myself to sleep, like I hate this shit. And so yeah, in a way I did want to be an adult, and then I used to hate when I became a teenager, well, when I became 18, and people would be like, you're not grown, and how people back in the day used to talk to you like you need to respect your elders, and and so I in my mind I was like a little offended, like, first of all, I am grown, because it wasn't about like it was just my mentality. Like, I knew even as a little girl that I was light years ahead of my peers. And I didn't realize how rare that actually was for me to know as much as I knew, and to be really spiritually connected the way that I was. Like, until now, I'm really just now realizing that that shit really is rare. And that kind of pisses me off even more, actually, because I'm like, well, damn, well, why can't nobody else be like this? Why would you bring me down here? You know what I'm saying? With all this capacity, and you knew I was gonna have a fucking hard time. Damn it, I'm mad. But at the same time, it's like I'm recognizing how me wanting to be an adult, that was just because I felt like the adults around me were dumb. I'm like, I'm smarter than these adults. Like, I know how to perform, how to behave in life, and how to have integrity. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was seeing how the adults was behaving, the ones with addictions, the ones who were liars, the ones who were whatever. And I would just be like, I'm not gonna be like that. Like, I can't wait till I'm an adult and I can show them how it's done. Literally, this is literally so crazy to me to think about this stuff, though. And I'm be honest, like, trauma will do that to you. It will pile up your mind with all type of shit to where you don't have enough room to really even think about this. You don't see this because there's so much other shit piled on top of it. So with that being said, this is a beautiful thing, because that means that I've healed to the point of being able to re surface these particular aspects of my journey, specifically my childhood and my adolescence, right? And so boom, it's so crazy to me, because I really do regret saying that I wish people would see me as grown, and people would, respect me as the adult minded person that I was. Because I really do see now that, like, I don't know if, like, spirit is doing this on purpose, like bringing back these childhood memories and these aspirations that I had, reminding me of the little hobbies that I had, and how I used to like to make macaroni art and doodle, and I was always drawing these little hieroglyph looking things on my homework and my class assignments and stuff. Like, certain things are just coming back to me, um and I'm like, well, that was fun, and then that's making me just go more into my inner child mode. And I'm like, hello, I'm grown. But like, that's proof that there is no such thing as being grown. Like, you're always going to be that inner child, because, like, man, listen, I don't care what nobody says. Anybody that's closed minded and can't get with what I'm saying, I'm not talking to them anyway. I'm talking to the open-minded people who understand that like everybody's journey is different and you can't be trying to apply this black and white thesis to everybody's life and how they're supposed to behave and how they're supposed to perform by this time, this period in their life. And when you turn this age, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to think this way, and you're supposed to behave this way. All of that shit is bullshit. It's hogwash for real, because I literally defy the odds. At every chapter of my life, I've been defying the odds. And it was always odd to me because I'm like, well, why am I not like my peers? Like, even when all my peers got a period and I still didn't get a period, I was like, hello, why don't I have a period? I was a little late bloomer. It's fine. It's okay. So that's crazy. Like, advanced mind and advanced emotion and then slow body. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. But like, I really do feel as if, yeah, I'm grown. Like, I am grown, but I am allowing the inner child to thrive as well. And it's such a beautiful thing because we are already a duality as it is, right? Light and dark, right? But then also, is it fair to be like we're also young and old always as well? Like, as you continue to grow older, when you become a teenager and you like, oh, now I'm grown, so I'm gonna go do grown stuff, you still recognize how there's parts of you that's still childlike, right? And then when you reach 21, now you old enough to drink, but then you still see you doing some shit that's a little childish. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know, my mind has been thinking about a lot of stuff, as you can see. But I really feel like this new moon in Virgo is allowing certain individuals to heal particular aspects of themselves that they never had a chance to heal. Okay. Now, let me run it back real quick. Let me backtrack real quick. Because first and foremost, I want to see, and this is no way, shape, or form an astral, this is not a cosmic forecast, but I wanted to see what planets are in retrograde right now, because I know Mercury, Mercury. I know Mercury just went direct. Um, but I wanted to see what other planets were in retrograde, so then I can get a better grasp on. Well, I said new moon in Virgo, right? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Hold on. Girls like you. Uh, where is it? Hello. Uh, now what in the heckity hoo hoo? Hmm. Okay, here we go. Wow. 2035. That's okay. All right. 2035 is 10 years from now. Will I be alive then? 2035. Okay. All right. Let's see. Wow, the moon is at 0 degrees. Wait, that's actually really compelling. If the new moon is at, wait, okay, wait. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's at 0 degrees. This is a brand new Virgo energy. And like, I'm trying to think about who I knew that was a Virgo. Was my grandma a Virgo? I don't know, but the fact that the moon is at 0 degrees in Virgo, that's compelling. Oh, and real quick, I know I'm going so many places, but I had this dream about these two tarot readers. They're real tarot readers, and one of them, I recently was like a little concerned about her. I'm like, is she okay? Like, it seems like she's going through some stuff. But like, they were in my dream, right? And we were talking. I was trying to tell them about something, which I'm still kind of confused on what I was telling them about. I think I was telling about what was happening, like the situation that was going down in real time. And as I was trying to tell them, it was like one of them was like, you do astrology, you study astrology. And I was like, yeah. And then another one was like, she asked me if I studied something else, and I was like, I study both of those. And then out of nowhere, and it was so crazy because I recognize this girl, but I can't place her still. Like, this is the second or third time that I've seen this girl in a dream, and the dream is always different, but little spy head ass. Anyway, I remember this girl popped up in the dream, and it's almost as if she appeared like on Charmed, where the girls just like they teleport from one place to another, and all you see is that little light beam, and then boom, there he is. That was the vibe. And what happened is she walked right up to me, ignored the fact that the two tarot readers was laying down on the ground, which that was also weird. They was laying there on the ground, and I was sitting next to them. What the fuck? Actually, that's symbolico making sense now. Alrighty. Okay. Wow. Interesting how when I start talking, things just start making so much sense. Anywho, so the girl that teleports into the dream, she's asking me all these questions. First she wasn't really asking me questions, though. She was telling me about all these moves that I was making, basically trying to make me feel afraid that she was letting me know that she was surveillancing me. And I guess like I was supposed to be nervous that she was surveillancing me, but because I was acting very nonchalant, because I don't give a fuck, you know, she was kind of like taken aback, like she wasn't expecting that. And she was telling me about all these places that I had visited. She was like, yeah, because you went there, here, and then da, da, da. And then she mentioned, she was like, so I don't know if you have like a sister or a best friend coming into town, but blah 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 blah. And I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? But then I said, she trying to get information. She a little monitoring spirit head ass. So I said, man, I don't remember what I said. Whatever I said to her, the point was I pretty much shut the shit down. Like, can we get to the fucking point? So she gives me an envelope. She hands me a freaking envelope, and the envelope has a person's name. Now, here is the interesting thing. I never remember the names or the like specific details. Like, let's say like I'll have my cell phone in my dream. I won't remember what was on my cell phone, what I was looking at, whatever. I won't remember the names or the numbers as called out, whatever. And I will be trying to sometimes. Like, I'll be like, oh, don't forget to remember that when you wake up. Like, literally, that's how I'll be in my dream state. But I this particular time I remembered that shit. I don't know. That's how I know I'm child. I don't know what I done did except for just stay in alignment. But like my dreams. Ooh, okay. All right. All right then. All right now. All right now. Okay. Um anyway, the name on this envelope is a girl's name. Well, it their preferred pronouns are they them. Okay. So their name that I seen was very specific to me, very clear to me. There was three names. I seen the middle name, I seen the first name. So the middle name came first, which was interesting. The middle name was first, and then the first name was second, and then there was the last name. Now the last name was a little bit hard to make out, which made me feel like this person was foreign, like they're from another country. And so I thought that that was so interesting because this person is an individual who I had added to my Discord a few months ago, maybe a couple months ago. And as soon as I added them to my Discord, something told me, like, it was just some in my spirit. It was like, delete that. Yo! Oh my God. And I had already had like a little small little nudges about this person anyway. But like I also really, as per usual, wanted to be inclusive. We had like a nice little conversation a time or two before. But the thing is, when the people who did what they did to me last year and this year, when they were conspiring against me and doing all what they was doing and getting all these people to turn against me and shit, this is one of the people who, I guess, they happily turned against me without even really fully knowing me. And I don't really know what that's all about, except for like pure jealousy or what the fuck ever. But like, it's just so crazy to me because I'm like, wait, what are y'all trying to tell me about this person? Because I ain't thought about this person since I did what was said. It said delete them, delete that, and I did. I deleted and blocked, to be honest. Cause I'm like, no, you're not about to be having access to my intellectual property, Buki. I don't know who the you thought this was, but this ain't that. Okay. So I delete, block, and now the person is popping up in my dream, their full name on an envelope. And I'm feeling like somebody is delivering some information to me about some folks. Okay, I don't think it's just one person. I think it's some folks. So I don't know even why I stopped to say that, because that shit just I had to remember before I forget. I think that's what it is. Like, don't forget, girl. Don't forget. Cause that shit, man, when I tell you some of the stuff that I'll be dreaming about, or some of the downloads that I begin, I'll be like, wait, just make me pause real quick. Like, huh? Say what now? Run that back. So anywho, this new moon in Virgo, I feel like this is like a time for new health routines. Okay, like get in the gym, get that ass in the gym. Okay, stop complaining about your love handles and you ain't doing nothing about it. Go get your ass in the gym, or better yet, just go stay home and get to getting. It's all type of YouTube videos with people who do workouts. Okay, try Pilates. I heard this real good. I haven't got on my Pilates kick yet because I do yoga, so it's. But anyway, and then mindfulness for sure, and then also like Virgo is a earth sign, so maybe like get a plant. Maybe start a garden. That's the energy. Okay, that is definitely the energy. Now we are in eclipse season as well. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. This is not a cosmic report though. So let me just go ahead and remove myself from starting to talk about all of that, because this is the wrong channel to do that on anyhow. But yeah, healing, that's the energy, healing. And not just healing though, like a fresh new start, you know with the new moon being at 0 degrees in Virgo. That's a big deal because being at 0 degrees, well, 0 degrees is exactly what it sounds like. It's at the beginning, it's the very start of things. You ain't even reached one yet. You see what I'm saying? So like, this is a fresh window of opportunity. Take it, do something with it for real. Maybe change your mindset. Open yourself up to a new way of thinking. Shoot, I don't know, just throwing out some suggestions. But what I wanted to say on behalf of how I'm feeling, I definitely do feel as if there is a newness that I have come into. And this is not even like something that just happened. Like, it's like I had the rebirth, and then I had another rebirth, and I had another rebirth, right? But like, this is like a soul renewal. Like, I really do feel as if I've been baptized. That's the vibe. That's the energy. Like, that's the energy. It didn't even feel this good when I was baptized in real life. Shit. Okay. Probably because I had the wrong motherfuckers laying hands on me. That'll do it. That'll do it. Mm-mm-mm. But I wanted to read a little bit from the book. Okay, le book. So I don't know if you down to listen to a little bit of that, but that's what I'm gonna do. I don't really care if you down to listen to it. That's what I want to do. Shit. And as you notice, I do what I want to do. I don't give a fuck if nobody's listening. Anywho, so I'm gonna read a little bit of the book, and then listen, you might be popping up. I mean, I might be popping up at a stage near you because I have said yes to some engagements, some speaking engagements that I really feel they're aligned with where I've always been trying to go. And so shit, I know one opportunity leads to several opportunities. One door opens, a billion doors open. Well, at least where I'm concerned, shit, because that's just my mentality, right? Like I told this girl earlier, she was on she had posted this TikTok, and she was like, she used to want to be doing this and that and be in music videos. And I was like, Buki, why don't you just like make your own opportunities? I'm definitely one of them individuals that has always looked at life as an opportunity to create whatever you want. If you don't see it, or if it's not available to you right now, then make it available. You know what I'm saying? That's how I became a clothing designer in the first place. When I was a little girl, there were certain things that I would like envision, like, oh, this would be really cool if I had this type of wardrobe. But like, I didn't, number one, I couldn't afford that wardrobe, but also I didn't see that type of stuff in stores. And so I started creating drawings, just sketching different ideas. And then those little sketches and everything turned into me taking my clothes and starting to reconstruct them, which my mom hated. I remember when I came home one day from school, and this bitch, yeah, I'm gonna call her a bitch, because now I found out she really is a bitch. Ah! People be like, you're supposed to respect your parents. No, your parents are supposed to respect you. The fuck? Don't you dare tell me to respect somebody that's evil. Anyway, this bitch, she done went. Not only have she done went through my room, went through my room, found my diary, read my diary. What an evil ass bitch! Read my diary, but then she gonna sit up there and take my little jeans that I had, made these little cutouts in or whatever, and she gonna rip them up, talking about they tacky. Who gave you the permission to just go in my room and do you? She evil. Oh, if you have a tourist mother, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Mm-mm-mm. I wish you the best on your healing journey, because I know that shit gonna be hard. It was hard for me, honey. But yeah, I used to make my own clothes, and to the capacity that I could, because I didn't have a sewing machine or anything like that. And then when I got old enough to, when I was no longer in living with my mother, and I got old enough to start making my own stuff, I started sewing with a hand needle. And then that sewing with a hand needle turned into me making a whole collection with hand needles. Okay, like no sewing machine, just sewing by hand. I mean, and I sold the fuck out of a denim jacket. I did all type of pieces. Okay, and so then this is now, by this time I'm in New York. My very first photographer that I hired from Model Mayhem, he loved what I did, and looking back, like, I know I none of the stuff that I made was like the best, but like, to be making that shit by hand, it was immaculate. Okay, but like, he really believed in my dream and everything, and so he bought me my first sewing machine. It wasn't much, like, it was, pretty, like, entry level sewing machine, like a little starter beginner sewing machine, real tiny, like, portable sewing machine. But like, it was a step up from a hand needle. Okay, and I was so proud of that little sewing machine. And then from that sewing machine, I went and eventually was able to buy my own sewing machine, because I actually sold my first pieces, my little custom pieces. And so, just thinking about that, and how I've always been the one to create my own opportunities. If I can't do something, like, I wanted to go to fashion school, nobody really knew that I wanted to go to fashion school, but my mom wouldn't sign off on my financial aid, or wouldn't help me get the scholarships. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna just go my own route. So I taught myself how to design, and I taught myself how to design by literally just taking clothes apart, Just like I did the VCR. I wanted to know how to fix the VCR, so I took out all the screws, one piece at a time, okay, and studied it, seeing exactly where everything fit and why it worked this way. This connect to this, and this connect to that, and this is how this light turned on, and that's pretty much what I did with fashion too, with clothing too. And so I told this girl earlier, I'm like, girl, just make your own opportunities. I was like, let's make a music video. You wanted to always make a music video, let's do one. I'll come to you. I'll pop up in your city and we'll make a music video. Fuck it. And that's really the shit that I'm on right now. And it's so lit though, because like I really am in this like Santa Claus energy. like I'm a Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Okay, yes. Like anybody that has a creative dream that they always wanted to bring to life, being that I'm the visionary and the one who knows how to, I'm the pioneer, right? Like I know what to do when it comes to the business side of things and when it comes to the creative side of things. So I'm just ready to like connect with people who are really on the type of time that I'm on. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. The fuck ain't nothing hold you back. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nothing but time, space, and opportunity, Bookie. Like if we got a small budget, we still gonna make that shit shake. Okay. Period. So anywho, I just that made me excited because I realized that like out of all the things that I could be doing, this feels so good. Like and I really do think that this is this spirit renewing that I've had. And really that all just comes from not being a mean, hateful ass bitch. Okay? So people keep wondering, well, how is she doing this? Who's helping her do? Nobody's fucking helping me do a motherfucking thing. I'm helping myself by not being a mean, hateful ass bitch. Okay, that's why nothing is happening to me, because it ain't supposed to happen to me, because I'm not doing none of the shit that people keep trying to act like I'm doing. It's them that's doing it, and that's why their lives is falling the fuck apart, just raggedy. And I know that without even looking. I ain't seen nobody. I don't know nothing. You understand what I'm saying? But I know at the same time. You feel me? You feel me? Exactly. Your motherfucking life falling apart because you don't know how to stop being a mean, hateful ass bitch. Okay? If you want your life to go well, start treating people well, and then it'll go well. Shoot, it ain't no secret. Shoot, and for those who wanted my destiny or who thought that they could even play the role of me, how was you gonna do that when you ain't even got my heart? You can't even match my heart. You don't know how to love unconditionally like me. You don't know how to have the kind of depth that I do. You could never play the role of me. You would crash and burn. You would corrupt that shit. All the gifts that I was born with, you would abuse them, and they would be snatched from you. So people keep trying to figure out how they can be me. You can't. Be you. Be your fucking self. Okay? Be yourself. Because you don't have no idea what it took to get to this point in the first place, to be able to be me fully, authentically, confidently, fearlessly. If you really want to take my place, then take all the burdens that came along with this, then too, motherfucker. Take it. You get the seizures, bitch. You get the people constantly bothering you every time you walk outside when you looking good. Okay. You get it all since you want to be me so motherfucking bad. Let me let you Freaky Friday, motherfucker. Freaky Friday. Come on, let's swap roles real quick. Let me see how much I'm gonna enjoy living your life. I guarantee you I won't. Even the people with the with more than me, people with more than me ain't doing better than me mentally and emotionally and spiritually. I know it. I know it. That's why they so fixated on me, man. But I ain't there. This ain't even about them. This ain't about that. Okay, this ain't about that. Anyway, I'm about to read some of the book. Okay, If you ain't grabbed your copy already, you know what the hell to do. All right. Over on coachomi.com. What you waiting for, Bookie? And if you're trying to collaborate for anything dope, okay, whether it's a music video or you want to get in the studio with me and make some bangers, or you want to, excuse me, you want to collab on a clothing project, okay, or you want to collab on an app, because I have a few apps, that I'm trying to get with folks who know what they doing, so we can, you know what I'm saying, let's make this shit shake. Or if you want to collab on, what else do I do? Oh, if you want to collab on some food, child, I've been mm, we can eat. Matter of fact, we gotta eat. We gotta eat. And if you have ideas on like herbal, okay, any type of herbalism, I have an apothecary line. Um, so if you want to collab in that aspect, we could do that too. Like, listen, honestly, the possibilities are unlimited. Oh, and if you're trying to get into the real estate game, okay, now this one's big. If you're trying to get into the real estate game, now mind you, I've been trying to find some co-founders for a few years now, and everybody just too fucking scary. Just scary. Like, why y'all so scared to make moves? Why y'all so scared to be consistent? Why y'all so scared? Ugh, can't stand this generation. Anyway, I got this project, and I can't say too much because you know the monitoring spirits be monitoring. But I have this project, and I pretty much have all of the bones laid out. I just need co-founders. I need two co-founders at least, because the business is going to pretty much run itself once we get everything established. But like, there has to be at least 2 to 3 people that can rotate and take care of the minor little deets and stuff that will need to be maintained on a month to month basis. But anywho, yeah, I'm ready. So use my contact form on my website to let me know what your idea is if you have an idea. Um, and yeah, I'll get back with you. Okay. Now, if it's some bullshit, trust me, I'm already know for you little sneaky bastards that's thinking to yourself, getting little bright ideas like, yeah, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna act like I'm such and such, and then I'm gonna and I'm gonna make a new email address, and trust me, I do my due diligence. I'm not just hitting motherfuckers back and just come on now, come on now, come on now. I know y'all don't think I'm slow. Well, yeah, you do. You do think I'm slow. And that's where you fucked up. That is where you fucked up right there. Okay, so let's see where we're going to read from now. Did I read this to you already? I can't really remember. Ugh. I don't remember if I read this part. I feel like I did though. But I'm going to just read it again. All right. My predicament as a misfit who couldn't seem to find favor with my mother, my siblings, or the bastards in school forced me to lean into that alternate reality I felt was constantly calling for me in my dreams. Creativity helped me cope, but it couldn't help me escape my slumber. So I started analyzing my dreams, searching for clues. Eventually, my fears grew into fascination. The strokes of paranormal added another element of suspense to my life, which gave me a reason to stay curious. The problem was, shit was always hitting the fan in my waking world. As far as I knew, I was on an ultra top secret mission not even my mom was privy to. If she had known what I was here to do, why would she be so bothered by my arrival? And what was up with all the late night rendezvous and hostile phone calls? Why was my mother always telling us it's time to pack our shit and go? Why was she always beefing with a man? Why did she hate my dad so much? Why was she at odds with both sides of the family? Why were so many people in the family always dying? You know how much I despise having to attend another funeral for a distant relative I don't ever remember meeting? I have too many unanswered questions. Tragedy seemed to be the family's biggest curse. I felt like I knew the answers to these questions deep down, yet the truth felt unreachable, as if it was intentionally hidden from me. My thing was, if my mission was to transform the world, why the hell did it seem like the odds were unreasonably stacked against me? How the hell was I supposed to make something of myself with all these struggles? That's what really pissed me off. Why come to Earth just to suffer? And why, after multiple attempts, could I not simply make it stop? Since the higher powers made it clear I couldn't execute myself, I had no choice but to find a way to change my reality. And that is how I ended up immersed in this little illicit exploration. I was determined to find the answers to all of my questions. That meant it was time to shift my focus inward. It wasn't until my healing journey was initiated in 2018 that I finally started making sense of things. It was true, I was on a divine mission. In order to fulfill it, I would have to stop being the martyr. I couldn't fathom spending my whole life suffering. There was too much rebel in my blood to just be a loser. So my spiritual journey was ignited. My spiritual journey was ignited, helping me face harsh truths about myself, which subsequently helped me to embrace my anomaly. The more value I was finding in myself, the more I was beginning to understand I had something special all along. Realizing that I spent years sleeping on myself lit a new fire within me. A sense of urgency and purpose began to simmer. I knew I had two choices: either strategize or keep suffering. That's when my whole attitude shifted about life. Fuck the odds. Fuck the adversity. Fuck accepting the bare minimum. I didn't care how many people tried to stand in my way. I was in my own lane and I didn't plan on stopping. I knew better and therefore I had to do better. As gifted as I am, there was no reason I should just keep losing. I'm equipped with everything I need to make power moves. Shocking thing is, as my self love and confidence grew, people seemed to reject me more than ever. I didn't care though. They had no idea how deep my determination ran. Look how much I withstood even before I truly knew who I was. The more brutal the downfall, the more radical the rebirth. You know how many times I disappeared only to return more empowered than the last time you saw me? The version of me I've grown into is intimidating to everyone who is benefiting from me choosing less than what I deserved. Suddenly, people were on the defense because they knew they had no place in my life anymore. I went from being the one everyone tried to downplay when I walked in the room to the most dangerous person in the room. That's what happens when you know your worth and refuse to play small anymore. At this point, I know I ain't afraid to burn a bridge while standing on it. Look how I emerge from the ashes wiser and finer. I have no issue cutting anybody off. Either come correct or your access is permanently revoked. Period. My power was built by way of my losses and the lessons I gained through them, which is just another reason why some feel so annoyed by my comebacks. What I've discovered over the course of my awakening, many times it was the people closest to me who puppet mastered my demise. When they expected me to be demolished, I returned more radiant than before. My sworn enemies hate that. I've been making those ever since I've been telling it like it is. Well, basically all my life. Maybe that's what happened with my mother. Even if she decided after seeing me that she could tolerate me, perhaps my mouth made me her biggest enemy. Made me her biggest enemy. I didn't bite my tongue when I recognized the truth was being concealed. I wasn't the kind of kid that you could control. I think my mother really hated that about me. I was always being so contrary and saying things that didn't make any sense to her. Why couldn't what couldn't be negated is I could see right through people. My mother and father were the biggest liars I knew. I couldn't stand the knowing without the validation of the knowing though. Anytime they denied what I knew, I would second guess whether or not I actually knew it. But my gut was always rattling with the truth. The constant gaslighting left me misguided by their illusions. Like when my mother would deflect and accuse me of acting out for attention, when in reality her abuse was constantly a trigger for my tears and resentment. My dad wasn't as bad as my mother. He seemed to actually love me. However, his addictions influenced his subtle toxicity and neglect, blaming his inconsistent presence on everyone else. That pissed me off too. My parents' constant denial and refusal to take accountability for their destructive actions is what planted those seeds of doubt within me as a kid, leading me to mistrust my intuition, even fearing I might be mentally scarred by by the trauma. How could I trust myself or lean into my inner knowing if I was always shut down with accusations of having issues? My mother was either delusional or a reckless narcissist who didn't give a fuck about the impact of her abusive ways. Sometimes it seemed she found satisfaction in projecting her own shortcomings and insecurities onto her offspring. I despised her, vowing to not grow up to be a replica of her twisted darkness. She despised me for the light I carried within and how it was always exposed in her darkness. Even though my father was absent for most of my life and his addictions often got in the way when he was around, he was far more gentle than my mother. Just as disappointing, though. I was never afraid to call my parents out when they would become critical of me. The way I see it, if they were going to deflect, I was going to turn the tables on them every time. Though it was clearly impossible to find favor with my parents because of my know it all ways, that didn't stop me from fighting for their affection and approval all the way into my late 20s. Because, yeah, I wanted both. I wanted to be able to be radically honest and still be loved. Apparently, that wasn't possible. Plus, my mother was adamant about me choosing between her or my father. Despite his predictable disappointment, I always chose him. Who wouldn't when the lady that allegedly gave birth to you punished you for being alive? Eventually, I got sick of the tug of war and decided to choose myself. Ghosting them meant I could figure out who I was outside of the pressure to overperform for their approval. If I was unworthy of their acceptance, I was determined to find worth within myself without them. And that's when the entire game changed. Okay, you can get this book over on coachomi.com. And I'm going to sleep, Bookies. I love you. And I will see you tomorrow over on the Prosperity Portal. Or look, I mean later today, later this evening over on the Prosperity Portal. Okay. Friday Night Fever. Ooh. Oh, also, if y'all are trying to be a part of Free Your Mind Improv, you can find out more about that on my website as well. The first public one is next week, okay, next Friday. So go look at the deets for Free Your Mind Improv, and then if you want to be a part of it, sign up, RSVP. It's free. It's free. But you got to RSVP so I can send you the link so you can join the Discord when it's time to do it next Friday. Okay. All right then. Bye.